I feel like that's just like a privileged thing to say. Like, it's like, oh, you have parents that can support you if things go wrong. I'm basically paying over $2,000 a month for a storage unit. How is your business being impacted by this situation? There's always gonna be someone that's making more money than you. This is definitely a struggle that I had. What's up, guys? It's Natalie here, and today I am filming from a car. So no, I am not driving anywhere. This is just parked in a driveway. The car is not even on, but the house is a little loud and I needed to film. So this is what we have resorted to in quarantine. Pretty good background, pretty good lighting, you know, nothing to complain about. Pretend I'm doing a drive with me even though there is nowhere to go. Anyways, I am doing a Q&A. I really like doing these periodically, and I felt like it was a good time to do one during quarantine because I feel like now the questions might be a little different. There's more people asking questions because there's just more people on social media. So I figured I would do a Q&A. I hope that you guys have been liking my videos lately. I have kind of taken a pause on vlogging this month just for, honestly, my own mental health. I did decide to take a little bit of a break. Anyways, I am just going to answer some questions that you guys left me on my Instagram, and I'm really excited because I haven't done a Q&A in quite some time, and I feel like these are really different. I also wanted to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video, so thank you so much to Skillshare, and I'm going to be talking about them in a bit. First question is, what's one of the hardest things about being self-employed? I think for me, the hardest part about being self-employed is actually time management, but also accounting for like resting and breaks, because for me, I do think I'm a pretty like self-motivated person. I can motivate myself to wake up early, I can motivate myself to do work. I don't really enjoy just laying down and doing nothing. I like working. For example, it was the weekend and I'm trying to kind of not work on the weekends, and it was really hard for me. So for me, the hardest part is kind of like leaving work and like turning it off, because also my work does surround like my everyday life, so it's even harder. But that's the hardest part for me, is like knowing when I've done enough for the day and stopping. When you are self-employed, you can always do more. Like, it's not like you go to your boss and you're like, hey, what can I do? Oh, nothing. Like, you can always do more when you're self-employed. So that to me was the hardest part about being self-employed, is just like knowing when to take a break, when it's okay to work all day long, but also when it's okay to like rest and hang out with your friends or just not do anything. Like, you don't even need an excuse to not do work. Like, if you just want to lay down and watch YouTube videos, you should without feeling guilty, and that's just something I'm trying to tell myself. How do you stay motivated and organized even at home during quarantine? My parents are always bothering me while I work because they don't understand what I do is serious business. This is definitely a struggle that I had, especially in the beginning, because when you do go home, you're completely out of your routine. I feel like parents, whenever you're home, they like retreat to like when you used to live at home, like when you were in like high school, and it's like, oh, come hang out with me, come do this, come do that. And it's like, mom, I'm working. So I definitely feel you on that, especially because when you are just like working on a computer, it might not look like you're doing that much, or like if you have to stay logged on, but you might not have work at the moment, you know. Like, I totally get it when parents are kind of like, no, like, come on, they try to distract you. But I think the best thing is to just set boundaries. So lock yourself in a room all day if you need to. Really explain to them, be like, listen, from this time to this time I cannot work. After that, I'll hang out with you, but from this time to this time, don't bother me. Or you can resort to me, and like, if you're filming videos, film in your car. What resources did you use to learn digital marketing, and how did you grow your following? You guys know I am an industrial engineering major, and I was doing YouTube all throughout college and in high school, so I did learn a lot about it from there. I actually have been using Skillshare, which I have talked about in previous videos. I have talked about on my Instagram stories. If you guys didn't know, I am obsessed with Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community where you can learn from other people teaching courses about literally anything that you want. UX design, UI design, if you want to learn how to edit YouTube videos, if you want to learn a little bit more about how to make a finance model, if you want to learn about digital marketing, if you want to learn about PR, they have classes for you. I'm actually in the middle of taking a PR class, which is so helpful. If you guys didn't know, I am trying to start my own like PR influencer marketing agency, so learning about PR a little bit more in depth by professionals, and also learning more about digital marketing has been such a huge help. I have learned so much from Skillshare. I have taken courses on Google Analytics, I've taken courses on YouTube Analytics, I've taken courses on Final Cut Pro to up my editing game. So even if you have passions, if you have hobbies, if you have businesses that you want to grow more knowledge in, this is definitely for you. I've been using Skillshare for months now, and I recommend it to anyone. I'm actually expanding my agency. I'm hiring my first intern, and the first thing I'm going to do is invest in Skillshare for them, because I want them to be able to learn just like I did. So I'm going to give them some courses to look at, and also I always promote curiosity. So if they're interested in taking any courses on Skillshare, I don't even care if it's relevant to this. I really just want to promote learning and curiosity, because I think that is something that a lot of people lack. But there's something nice about having hobbies or having other curiosities and interests, and being able to learn it on Skillshare is really nice. And like I've said in previous videos, I miss learning. I really miss learning. So the fact that I have Skillshare is so great because I feel like I now have a lifelong learning tool that I can always go back and learn whatever I want. It doesn't matter the topic. It also has combinations of video lessons and class projects, so you can actually implement what you're learning. So if you guys are bored in quarantine and you guys also want to pick up a new skill or just learn something new, then definitely use Skillshare. I will have 2 months free with my code down below, so be sure to check it out and get 2 months free, which is such a great deal. How do you build the confidence to start your own business? I think for this one, it is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. A lot of people might be like, oh, I want to start my own business, but if you don't know what your strengths and weaknesses are and what you could start, it's kind of hard to like just start something. So I feel like really understanding what you're good at is the #1 thing, and that might take some time and that might take some experience in like a corporate job or in a regular job to really realize like what your strengths are. Another thing is having the idea. So I know a lot of people are just really excited to start their own business and they want to start something, but if you don't have a good idea, it's not really smart of you to stop what you're doing, to quit your job, and to start something that you don't even know if it's gonna work. So like really making sure that what your own business would be feasible and that you would actually be good at it. Everyone has strengths and everyone has weaknesses. If you have weaknesses, you can always hire people to fill those. Making sure that you have like really key strengths, that you're a motivated person, that's good at what you're trying to start, is something that can give anyone the confidence to start. The other thing also is making sure your finances are in check. Never ever recommend people to start their own business when they don't have enough money to be on their own or don't have enough savings for like 6 months of expenses in case things go wrong. You know, so I always kind of recommend people to start their business as like a side hustle, or to start it while they're at something more stable, or to at least start researching it when they're at something more stable, so that once they do make the leap, they still have like a nice cushion of finances and they're making money from that side thing that is now a full-time thing. Tips on staying true to you and not comparing yourself to other people's success. This is definitely something that I have struggled with because I always feel like I was comparing myself in the past, and I was always comparing myself to people that started their own business, to people that have YouTube channels, that people are doing the same thing as me, and it honestly does no good. Realize that you are on the right path. You're always going to be comparing yourself to someone better than you. There's always going to be someone that's making more money than you. There's always going to be someone that's higher up the corporate ladder than you. There's always going to be someone that is ahead of their like business than you. Like, it's just gonna happen. And you know what? You are also someone who is more ahead of someone else and more successful than someone else and might make more money than someone else, and someone might be comparing their lives to you. That change just is never going to like make you more successful by just comparing yourself. You can compare for motivation, but don't compare and be bitter and be sad and be angry. If you change your comparison attitude to, oh my gosh, I wish I was them, they're so much better than me, what am I not doing that they're doing, it shift it to, if they can do that, I can do that. It puts it into a whole different perspective. So if you see someone that is more successful than you, you can just think, wow, if they have those opportunities, if they can do that, so can I. I think you can actually use it as motivation rather than like jealousy, you know? How is your business being impacted by this situation? Okay, so I've talked about this slightly before, but coronavirus, which is what's going on right now, obviously, I really thought this was going to impact my business because I knew that this was going to financially hurt companies, and I was just thinking there's no way companies are going to be spending money on marketing budgets, and my money comes from companies' marketing budgets at the end of the day, my YouTube money. And then with consultations, I was like, people aren't going to be able to afford a consultation when they're trying to only spend money on the essentials. I really thought that I was going to be affected, like I wasn't going to have brand deals for a few months. And also I have AdSense, which like has definitely decreased because people aren't buying as many ads on YouTube, so the ad revenue is a lot lower even though my views are higher. My ad revenue has actually decreased. So definitely it has impacted brand deals. Definitely have not been getting as many of them, but now they've started to pick up again. I think in the beginning brands were very skeptical because they didn't know how long this would last, so they were just like, we're just going to hold off. But now that I think we're kind of in this for the long run, brands are starting to pick up their marketing budgets again. I definitely think that some businesses are doing well, but other businesses are trying to market so that they can be doing well during this time, because I think they realize that if they do zero marketing, it's not going to get better. So they are now working with influencers a little bit more. And I have noticed with my consultations, they haven't slowed down that much, which I am so grateful for. But of course, only time will tell. I definitely think it's not going to be the best for my business, but I do have like cushions in place and like savings in place to for this exact reason, if for some reason I didn't make money for a few months. So it sucks, but like there's so many people that are worse off, and I am so lucky for like my situation right now. I feel very fortunate. Yeah, I'm not complaining about the situation for my business, but of course it is just like, I really hope that we get out of this sooner rather than later. How are you managing your life away from New York financially? A lot of people were asking if I'm still paying rent. Yes, I am still paying rent. I have not been in my apartment in over a month, so that sucks. I'm basically paying over $2,000 a month for a storage unit. Like literally, that's basically what it is because I haven't been there. I am still like, again, like I said, I'm very fortunate. I can pay my rent, so I'm not complaining. And also, I've saved so much money living at home. I haven't spent any money living at home. Like besides my rent, that's literally the only thing I'm paying for. I haven't spent any money. Like my mom cooks. If we do takeout, typically my parents will pick it up, which I'm very grateful for. I know that. I have an online shop, been doing like at-home workouts. My gym membership froze, my co-working space froze, so like I don't have those expenses anymore. So like really I'm saving a lot more money in this situation, which is nice. The next question is how to choose your passion over a regular stable career. Okay, so this one I wanted to answer because I have kind of mixed opinions on this. The thing I struggle with when I tell people go for what makes you happy, go for your passion, is kind of privilege. Hear me out. I feel like a lot of passionate careers might not be the highest pay. So if I tell you to go to something that you're not going to make any money in, I feel like that's just like a privileged thing to say. Like it's like, oh, you have parents that can support you if things go wrong. So I don't want to encourage necessarily just doing something because you love it, even if it makes you no money. Because at the end of the day, money matters and financial struggles suck. I think that if you're someone who knows that you need to make sure that your finances are stable, then going for something that is stable, but working on your passion project, working on your side hustle on the side is going to be something that gets you out of that and that lets you work on that full time. I just don't think that you need to separate the two. It's not like stable job and passion. You can do both and at the same time. It might be a lot more work, but it might just make you have a lot more ease of mind. If you are able to have a steady income while you're still working on your passion project, it doesn't put as much pressure on it and it makes you still enjoy it. That's my 2 cents on it. People are gonna have different opinions, but this is my Q&A and that's what I think. Anyways, that is it for this Q&A. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I know it was a different background, but you know, gotta stay safe and also didn't want the loud background noise. I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video, and if you guys did want 2 months free, check out my link down below. Love you guys, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!